So there's two scenarios. You can win, you can lose. So let's start with win. Let's talk about both, but let's start with win. From the beginning, you've said you want a new politics, want to work with Republicans. Overwhelming likelihood is, if you win, you would have a very strong majority of Democrats in both House and Senate. You've said you want to work with Republicans. Why would you need to?
Well, I think it's important that Democrats draw the right lesson from any victory. It's easy to draw lessons from defeat because that's sobering. But in some ways, I think in this election, it's going to be even more important for Democrats to come in with some modesty and humility if we win. And recognize that, first of all, a lot of the incoming Democrats come from swing districts, and they've positioned themselves as centrists. But more importantly, when you look at issues like energy, that's a huge project, creating a new energy economy. And if we want to move forward in the kind of bold way that frees ourselves from dependence on foreign oil and prevents our economy from being hamstrung again by high gas prices and deals with global warming, we're going to have everybody working together. Same is true on healthcare. The same is true on education. So on a whole host of these issues, I think we need Republicans, not just as showpieces. In some cases, Republicans have good ideas. And, I've always been more than happy to steal good ideas from whatever the source.
If you lose, have you thought about November 5th and beyond?
Absolutely. When I started this campaign, we were the longest of long shots. And, one of the things that I think has benefited me during the course of this process is a recognition that, there are a lot of hurdles that I had to get through in order to be successful. And Michelle and I were extraordinarily happy before I started running. I'm a relatively young man. They say that there are no second acts in politics, but I think there are enough exceptions out there that I could envision returning to the Senate and just doing some terrific work with the next president and the next Congress.
You're going to have a half-an-hour broadcast tonight on a number of the networks, and the expense is not inconsiderable to buy that much time. Aren't you able to buy it only because you broke a promise on campaign financing?
Well, look, there is no doubt that the amount of money that we've raised in this campaign has been extraordinary and surprised me as much as anybody, maybe more than anybody. What I would simply point to is that the way we have raised this money has been by expanding the pool of small donors in this country in an unprecedented way.
We haven't released their names. We don't know who they are.
Look, 3.1 million donors would be a pretty hard thing for us to be able to process. And we have done everything that's been asked of us under the FEC guidelines. These are small donors, they're ordinary folks, and the idea behind all campaign finance reform is to make sure that the public official is not bought and sold, that public official is accountable to the public, that they are not subject to undue influence by big special interests in Washington and lobbyists. And we don't take lobbyist money, we don't take money from